empowered mako okchan pesa. Akwayo joma nyalo konyo wamodong wanje jomodong wane kwa nyalo fulfill the dream my brother Jakoyo Midiwo. Kanisa te baya game katana Kenya gijo hero marwa ulem ni joka Midiwo gijo ka Miriam no uru biro to kande ga mono podo my part of introduction. Adi.
To the church, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, anyagemiala to kapok awacho matin nadwa luongi osiepwa mosenindo kaluwore gi kinde masani jogo mang'eny moro ote magi jonyuolna adwan giwach gimoro achiel mana matin dakika matin kuyie umigi thuolo mondo giwache gimoro matin.
Ne kanisa gojogo mobiro konya kora manyocha hero amoso uno kweuru okwe kendo aworo tok geng to duto wawen Nyasaye oket family mare kamokwe to gima nyalo wacho kendo ang'eyo no kata orodhi to wetene nitie machiel en daktari tachiel en profesa ora nyocho herowa makata nitie osiepene manyocho biro kode e dalawa awuoro ni gimihere ma Nyasaye bendo her koro an gima nyalo wacho alemo nu family mar ora kaachiel gi nyithinde mondo Nyasaye oritgi orit joka Midiwo te kaachiel kod joka negi moseyudo lit malich Nyasaye manocha nu family no mondo gimara
to koluonga gi nyinga uluonga mnanu baba nadi udhi maber atwenye ni wadhi maber miyo joka Midiwo oyudo chandruok mang'eny.
Mheshimiwa monindo ni nyocha en ng'at mohero ji kabisa dala ka nyocha en ng'ama osiepe limo kinde te to nyocho host welo mang'eny no nyalo chiewo gokinyi To nyisi ni an gosiepena moko ang'wen mabiro lima ka koro walos lunch. To kano nyisi no osiepe biro ang'wen nyaki ikri no osiepe 20 ok gidhi bedo ji ang'wen. Koro ne ang'iyo kamano. Kaluwore gi kwe manohero gi Alan useneno seloso notemo mochopo otuo aene sibtal tochu e kindwa gi beti kaka jomodong ji 2 go anyiso unu leo. Okwabimiyo kendo pod wategno. Katieko kadhi wacho mang'eny. Adwa nago erokamano ni jogo mosebedo kawuotho kodwa nyaka masirani nyocha yudwa. Ang'eyo ni nitie ji mang'eny moselemonwa. You've been with us in prayer. Thank you very much for all the support that you have given. I wish to send a special gratitude to the committee in Nairobi that was led by Mr. Eric and the committee Manyocha Nidalaka mane hotel nigigi Samoport. Ero urukamano jogo mose chung kodwa motegno. Adwa go erokamano bende ni jodala familia mar Jakoyo Midiwo kuom unity ma usenyiso to ubedo kusirowa kinde duto te. Professor erokamano maduong', Daktari Jalango erokamano, Antiaoko, thank you very much for the support that you have always given and you have continued to support us despite the fact that we've been in a mourning period for the last 1 month. Special thanks also goes to Auntie Ruth Odinga. I don't know if she's here. Thank you very much for that support that you have given. To the children who are left behind, I would wish to tell you that we are here. We will be there to support you. We know you will miss Daddy. We cannot fit in.
Shemeji Arama Nyong'o Betty, please come and end this part of the program.
Observed. Wasomo twatiyo maseche moko tama Linda kano nyuol to Linda oluoke omie chiemo nyaka ana school sang'4. Aparo mane Linda jadwe achiel to mama Aido bimowa moyudo ne pok aluoko kata mna Linda nikech nakia tij nyathi. Mama Aido odak kodwa mong'isa kaka iluoko nyathi, kaka irito nyathi the African way. Mheshimiwa nochako siasa chon malich. Washington DC kucha manok nengi rallies and demonstrations nikech he wanted change in Kenya. Kani yude ko demonstrate embassy ma America ti wuora. Okanyal paro jo siasa dima ne biro Washington DC to nyaka biye dalawa. Politician mane obiro DC nyaka ne biye dalawa. Kata mna dala ka jo siasa mang'eny moselimo wa dala. Baba be osebiro. To wacho ni oherogi kabisa kendo ne nonyisowa ni wach skul nyaka tim matek ahinya. Tarik 10 mar dwerni mzee ne biro Nairobi nikech ne waloso lunch ne nyithindo. Linda ncho tieko University South Africa to Sami ncho tieko KCSE moyudo A-, nomor ahinya. Lakini chieng' manonego wayud lunch no, wacham lunch no, to wayudo news ni nyamin gi maduong' onindo. Kamane kaka lunch no norumo. Mzee kanene hospital ne wan gi Sami. No kwang'eyo kata ni obowewa. Nikech kinyne noneno ka ng'ama dhi kuo. Nowuoyo. To koro wan ka. Kae mwachopo. Mzee luoro molure kode. Dakwani waike gi kwe gi hera kaka noherou. Kaka noherou, miyeuru herano. Watere onind gi kwe. Mzee, nind gi kwe. Nind gi kwe. Nyaka chieng' warom kendo. Erokamano.
Michael Awanga Wode Akala and Kora Tiku with my part.
Owuotho kodi Jakoyo outside and inside parliament en gosiepe makoro weka kaka fans. Ka wuoche Jakoyo no irwak. Ka wuoche Jakoyo no irwak. Mondo bed kama ne Jakoyo ntie. Koro adwa kawo thuolo makende. Makamu? Okay.
Akwayo ni jougenya joukwala uchung kama gintie mosuru kunyalo mna chungu fwa kama untie urukamano.
Ne jo Emomi otada nyocho hera ya kuyawa. Otada ne wagwenye mana matin to confirm to biro na. Kata manyine no nindo no. Nyocha after a week mora chiel kanyo. Pesa manoro na poka golo nyakasani. En selling alofapana. Miakwayo jogeman ka His Excellency the Governor of Siaya Pembelepe isebe dogo tada kufa na kupona. Wajo nubedi kakibedi no kuchunyi mini gono amoth koira kendinga ma kaunya lego thigo. May God bless. Jogem uwinja aneno jalanguka eni menyocha en pie tondiko to sign to chiwo jalanguka ma don't relate. Giro golo nyat kapango kendi pando ganang. Giro oro ganyango golo nyat kapango. Giro golo nyat kapango kendi pando ganang. Pinji do biro ni jomodhieri mioro. Gire konyango to kwerni nyedo dhako tani madag. Ne omera linkanyo mera jakotiang. Ipana kie linkanyo. Ne to the Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, Minister for Devolution, all protocols observed. I want to take very little time so that we allow the Prime Minister to go to the other funeral in Muhoroni. But I must also tell you that the day or the days that I knew Jakoyo Midiwo, we wrapped up very well. My first election as the governor of Siaya, Jakoyo really worked hard for me.
when there was a by-election which was necessitated by a petition that was filed against my election, there was some simmering problems as to who to give the ticket. And Jakoyo stood very strong. And Jakoyo said that the ticket be given to Rasanga. There were two people, Jakoyo Midiwo and Uchieng. And that really made a very big difference in my life. Secondly, I must also tell you that during the by-election, again Jakoyo spent his money to make sure that I won that election. Those are not mean things that you get from anybody. But when the election came for 2017, Aboro wacho gudhuluo. Ijo pinyi dwaro mondo awacho gudhuluo, awacho kika wach. Iro kamano. Awacho kama. An kanene pod kadonje siasa. Jakoyo ni mano mako bada. Bowuotho kodaige. Jakoyo neno wacho ni ticket Rasanga okokoso ni jo party nyaka duok mna ticket ni Rasanga. Mano duondi Jakoyo. Kakoro kendo wadoke siasa to Jakoyo bedo independent. To kane Jakoyo bedo independent, to anto ne wan jo ODM. Awaj kose kikawaj. Aya, koro Karawa watch 2022. Watch 2022. 2022. Nikeje jakom dhima bor okadwa monda keth nafasi. Koro adwa luongo Professor Anyang Nyong'o mondo obi mondo mosu. Sawa sawa.
Kakado kuom kanisa maler mar Church of Christ in Africa. Kakado kuom familia mar marehemu Jakoyo Midiwo Otada. Kakado kuom minister mar devolution our friend Eugene Wamalwa. Kakado kuom Prime Minister Ida Molodinga na Mama Ida. To gijo lemo gijo ywak duto mobiro kaka wuono mondo ga oriti notada. Akwau kwa unyenyekevu jogem ni mondo wamiuru tada luoro. Mae kinde ne mogik e piny kaeri kwagoni oriti. To kwa heri adier mondo wamie heshima ya kutosha. Ili tuseme kwa heri kwa Jakoyo Midiwo. Jakoyo chulunga gani ori. Nikeja kendo gem. Korono lunga gani ori. Tandwa lunga ni ori. Omiyo Jakoyo ne ng'ama ohero wat. Kendo noluoro ji. Jakoyo nohero wat kendo noluoro ji. Kendo rekod mowe bunge en rekod maber makata kisomo Eulogises mar Jakoyo kawuono ibiro yudo Jakoyo had a very clean record in bunge kendo jatelo mane waluoro. Amieno wan kage wa bunge mang'eny, wan kage Senator James Orengo, wan kae gi Aduma Wuod Wuor, wan kae gi bunge mang'eny ahinya mobiro goriti ka Jakoyo. Omiyo nenre ne ng'ama ne ji ohero kendo ji oluoro telo manengo. Kaku winjo kaka jaode loso ka jariyo owejo motegno mabiro cho dala. Wargi majalango bo loso kama bera ahinya. Omiakwa kaka joluo. Ni ng'ama wawito kawuono ok en ng'ama oyuma kendo ng'at ma nyalo wacha. En ng'ama kwatero kendo wagoni oriti to nyakwa miye luor ka jopiny duto neno gimwatimo ka. Let me say briefly in English. We are saying goodbye to a hero. We are saying goodbye to somebody who has left a very good record in Parliament and whose goodbye today is witnessed by his colleagues in Parliament, including the Minister for Devolution and the Prime Minister and Mama Ida. Therefore, as we sit here today, witnessing this last journey of Jakoyo Midiwo, we are humbled because of the record he has left behind. We have heard of his family life, how he has brought up very responsible kids, and how he has kept the family together. This is something that we all should envy and emulate. And as a leader, I'd like to appeal to young people here today that young people, please take examples from your elders. These days we have dysfunctional families at many levels. But I think when we come here and see a united family where people work together and love each other, they give us a good example of what we should do. May the good Lord rest his soul in eternal peace.
Thank you, Professor. May I now call upon the Minister for Devolution, Mr. Eugene Wamalwa, to come and condole with us.
Kanisa, Prime Minister Raila Odinga, Mama Aida, governors wetu walio hapa, wabunge, senators, watu wote waliokuja kwa mazishi ya rafiki yetu kuomboleza na familia yake. Amosi uduto. Nyasaye ber. Sechete. Erokamano. God is good. We say God is good all the time, even at such painful times. And we are here today to condole with the family of our brother Jakoyo Midiwo and to say pole to the entire Midiwo family. To lose a loved one in a family is a painful thing, but to lose several loved ones almost at the same time, the same year, is indeed very, very painful. And we are here to say pole to you, and it's such pain that the Greek poet Aeschylus wrote of, pain that does not forget to fall drop by drop upon the heart, until in our despair and against our will, wisdom comes through the awful grace of God. May the good Lord give you the grace also pray with you and for you. Jakoyo was a good friend of mine. I knew him when we were in the 10th Parliament, when I was member of Parliament for Saboti, and he was member of Parliament for Game. Political parties, I was in PNU, he was in ODM. But as a parliamentarian, as a leader of the House, both as minority leader and also as chief whip, Jakoyo had the power to cut across the political divide. He had friends on the ODM side, on the PNU side, and he never hesitated to reach out to friends. But talking about Jakoyo as a legislator, I cannot find better words to describe Jakoyo than the words of Ajiki. I had a funeral dirge by Ajiki Kodiam, and he said Jakoyo was the he-elephant. He was a giant legislator who wittingly turntables on his fellow men. And James Orengo, we were with him, Anyang Nyong'o in that 10th parliament. You remember when it came to debate in the House, this man was an astute debater. He was also a defender of the ODM party on the floor of the House and outside. When you crossed his path, you would feel the fire from Jakoyo. One day, I tasted Jakoyo's fire. I remember as MP for Saboti, I brought a question during Prime Minister's question time. And I asked the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, as the second Prime Minister of Kenya, about the issue of kazi kwa vijana, whether he was aware that it was kazi kwa vijana, like addressing the youth problem and the youth bulge, and why we must do something more substantial. Jakoyo agreed with me. In fact, when I brought my motion to set aside 25% public procurement for the youth, Jakoyo, as Chief Whip ODM, whipped the ODM side, I moved the PNU side, and the seconder of my motion was none other than Honorable Millie Odhiambo. That precursor motion is what led to the AGPO bill, 30% to the youth and women of Kenya. So as we bid him farewell, if there's a way we can honor this great man, he left behind a legislation that is supposed to empower young people. Would want to ask our governors and those of us who are in national in the pockets of our young people in this county and in this country. Lastly, we want to say that when it comes to legislation, and I see many legislators here today, as we celebrate a first-class legislator, believed that education or a degree was the only measure or yardstick of leadership. Just like his namesake Washington, George Washington did not have a college degree, but he was a great American president. Winston Churchill, one of the greatest prime ministers of England, did not have a degree, but he was a great leader. And Martin Luther King once said that it does not take a college degree to make a leader. It only takes a heart full of grace and a soul full of love for your country and your countrymen, and you can be that leader. Therefore, Jakoyo lives. As Jakoyo lives, I want to urge our legislators, and I'm happy I've seen Kipchumba Murkomen and his team. Some are already leading amendments to the act that will deal with the issue of degrees being a qualification for election. Let me leave that to you, but say thank you very much, the people of Game. Mimi nimekuwa hapa na Jakoyo mara nyingi. Nilikuja hapa akinialika Sirembe kufanya harambe kwa shule moja hapa, tukiwa na rafiki yangu Samoport. Na wakati tumekuja tukakaa na yeye, akumbusha Siaya huo mradi ulianza Martha Karua akiwa waziri wa maji. Na wakati nimeingia kama waziri wa maji, nilikuja hapa Siaya, tukasukuma huo mradi na Governor Rasanga na deputy wake ambaye amekuwa anafuata kule Nairobi. Juzi Mheshimiwa Rais amekuwa hapa kufungua huo mradi, na alielekeza dada yangu Sisili Kariuki ya kwamba mradi huo maji hayatoshi Siaya County. We must have the next phase. Tuongeze pesa, maji hayo yafike hata hapa Game. Na Mheshimiwa Rais akisema sio ombi, ni elekezo. Nikiwa hapa leo, I want to assure you, na tumeongea sana, Deputy Governor wenu amekuwa anafuatilia, we want to work with our sister Sisili Kariuki to ensure that project that was very close to the heart of Jakoyo, that his brother Jalango has spoken about. And I want to undertake to work with you to ensure that that is done. So nataka niseme asante sana, na niseme kwa heri kwa rafiki yangu Nindmaber Osiepna Otada